Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. My ponytail looks stupid, but whatever. And this is my review for Baller Wives Episode 5, Season 1. Today was a two-parter because it was the season finale. There was episodes 5 and 6 today, so I'm going to have to cover them both in one day. Yay! So let's just get into this bullshit of Baller Wives. I like Baller Wives. I honestly do. I think it is an interesting, different set of ladies. You know, we've had the same characters on TV from Baller Wives, from Basketball Wives to, you know, Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta Housewives. We've had the same rotation of ladies on, you know, most of the reality TV shows for a while. So I feel like these ladies was something different, you know, just a breath of fresh air. However, these hoes getting real stale and they pissing me the hell off with all this bullshit and going back and forth. And not even all of them. It's that goddamn on Miko and Stacey. They get on my goddamn on nerves. You know, we see it starting off with Kiafa talking to Geneva. Basically letting her know, you know, Mike is upset that her and Stacey are still beefed out, and he wants her to meet with Stacey, and she kind of doesn't want to. And Geneva like, look, you know, go ahead and meet up with her, you know, do it because Mike and Chris used to be friends, and now they can't be friends because y'all beefed out, and you know what I'm saying, that's not fair to the husbands. I'm moving my neck around. And that's not fair to the husbands. And, you know, it'll just make them feel better. And then you can also be like, if it doesn't go well, you can always be like, I told you so. And, God, I hate when my bun looks stupid, but let me pause this. Better. Yes, not less loose, but, you know, it's real messy, but whatever. Anywho, yeah, so Geneva's saying, you know, if it doesn't go well, you can always be like, I told you so, I told you I shouldn't meet with her. I agree. If your husband wants you to do something, now he wants you to have a conversation to clear something up, and if you know in your heart of hearts that the person he wants you to meet up with is not going to be good for the family, is not going to really resolve what he think is going to resolve, it's not going to resolve what he think is going to resolve, go ahead and do it. Because again, if it goes left and if it's crazy, you can be like, I told you I should just not even met with her because it wasn't any point. So, you know, she say, you know, even though I wish I didn't ever have to see or talk to Stacey again, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because, you know what I'm saying, it's causing discourse between me and my husband, and I want to do it for him. Absolutely. That's how you're supposed to handle it as a married person. So the next thing that we see is Miko, Stacey, and Crystal. And they're all meeting up at the gym after Stacey's had the baby to do some workout and stuff. And, you know, Miko does show them a move talking about, yeah, y'all should do this move before y'all have sex if you having sex doggy style because it loosens up your vagina. I'm like, I think the fact that all y'all that have babies, y'all cooches is pretty loose. I don't think y'all cooches, you know, walk around, you know what I'm saying, with a kung fu grip. Calm down, little mamacita. Calm down. And, you know, Stacey like, I just had a baby. Let my coochie heal a little bit. I agree. That girl ain't trying to have sex a doggy style yet. She just popped out a goddamn on baby out her vagina. But whatever. Eyes rolled. We then see how Crystal... Wait, is it Crystal? Yeah, Crystal is talking about how Emily, you know, left the party Yeah, Emily left that party so quickly when they were at Geneva's fashion preview. And she said, you know, she ran up out of here so fast, you know, before I can talk to her. She don't want to talk to you. And she thought she brought people there to fight. It did look a little, you know, it looked a little shady. You don't know. And my thing is, this is what I don't understand. When people who you don't like and who you don't get along with don't want to talk to you at that point in time, at that particular, you know what I'm saying? It's different. It's sometimes in public settings isn't always the time to have a conversation with somebody. And I'm a firm believer, the time to talk to someone that you are having discourse with, the time to talk to them is not at someone else's gathering, at someone else's gala. That's just not it, because it does cause a fucking scene. But, you know, that's just me. But she like, yeah, every time I see her, she run like Forrest Gump. I mean, she didn't run out of there. Bitch, she left. Okay? She left before some shit can pop off, and that's what adults do. When you want to avoid bullshit, you like, you know what? I ain't got time for this shit. I'm going home. I'm good. Peace and deuces. And that's what she do. So Miko then brings up Carmina and how she talked to Carmina. And so she's telling Stacey, well, I talked to Carmina and I told her how I didn't like that she threw the drink at you. And told her that she needed to apologize, but she said that she's only going to apologize if you apologize to Kiafa. And she's like, I think that's stupid. So, she's like, well, actually, Kiafa accepted my invitation and me and her gonna have a conversation. So, you know what I'm saying? But all my thing is, I think, she keep bringing up the fact that Carmina threw the drink. I need you to get over that. You didn't have that. That's been like months ago. It was just water. It was just liquid. And at the end of the day, that isn't a whole reason to hate someone. It's a reason to be like, we ain't friends. And if I see her, we need to have a conversation. But y'all ain't got to keep talking about this shit every time why you keep talking about the same shit? When I see my friends, we don't talk about the same thing. We talk about something different every damn time. Because we not focused on petty bullshit. But y'all focus on petty bullshit. And I'm like, oh my God. It's too new. It's season 1. And y'all focusing on too much petty bullshit too fast. It's just fucking aggravating. So, but what also made me mad was when Stacey said that Kiafa accepted her invitation, Miko going to, well, Kiafa got a whole lot of mouth and she always talking shit around people, so let's see if she had all that mouth in private. Miko, why the fuck you have such an issue with Kiafa? If any, you would think that she gonna blame Kiafa for the goddamn hurricanes. She blamed Kiafa for any and everything. If someone says, I don't like the shoes that Stacey wore to the fashion show, Kiafa must got them all up her ass, and they told her, damn, everything not Kiafa's fault. Some things maybe, but not every goddamn thing. Just lay off. So, the next thing we see is Miko at home with her family. Her son is very adorable. I think he's a very adorable little boy. He was like, Mom, you're really black. Like, you're black like me. I thought that was cute. But anywho, she's saying that Brent is going to be going back to play football, to training camp, and she's going to have to go with him. Why she got to go with him, do you say? Oh, well, because Brent need a goddamn chef and a goddamn dick sucker. I'm being dead. She said that she has to go with her husband because he gonna need someone to cook for him and he gonna need somebody to suck his dick. Her words, not mine. So she's a goddamn chef and she's a goddamn dick sucker. In hindsight, for some people, that's what a wife is. You cook for your husband and you satisfy your husband. But I'm like, he can't cook his own food. I get he can't suck his own dick. And I get you don't want nobody else to suck his dick. But I'm like, whatever. So, she also says how she feels sometimes like her role with her husband, Brent, is like a mother figure. She's like, because I'm older than him. When I met him, he didn't know how to balance a checkbook. He didn't know how to cut on the stove. If he didn't know how to cut on the stove, he's a fucking idiot. You might not know how to cook, but you should know how to cut the stove on. That's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? It can take a person a while to balance a checkbook because, counting them numbers can sometimes be confusing, checks and balances. But if you can't cut on the stove, you're an idiot, okay? So, but she basically took the place of his mom. And you can kind of see that. Her husband, he's very quiet. I don't know if he's taking too many hits on the football field and he's a little bit delayed, or if he's just very quiet and he don't talk much on camera. I don't know which one it is, but when he on camera, I be looking like, is he, special? So the next thing that we see, Julius and his wife Kelly are talking to their sons, basically. Their oldest son wants to play football. He's 9. He has a while to go before he has to think about playing football in real life, like real football. But Julius is against it based on the injuries he has sustained from him playing football, and I completely get it. Football is a dangerous sport. It is very, very dangerous. So I get him, being hesitant and wanting his son to maybe pick a different profession. I get that. But He's telling his son, I know you want to play football, but football isn't worth the toll that it takes on your body. You've seen me suffer from different injuries from over football. You've seen me do that. So, you're my son, and I don't want to see you suffer the way I've suffered. It was very emotional. His son started crying because, one, I think it's because he wants to play football and he's sad if he can't. But two, he probably remembered my dad did get hurt, but I really want to play. I love football. He also said, I don't want to be a dream killer. I don't want to crush my son's dream. We don't want to do that. So, they have that whole little thing. He does say, we're the parents right now. So for the most part, it's our decision. It won't be your decision until you're older. So there's a scene later on down the line where he says, we're going to let you play flag football. You can't play tackle football. This will be a compromise until we feel comfortable with you doing anything further. I thought that was a good compromise. And I think it's also good that he is not letting his son only focus on one sport. Because he's saying how his son is good at baseball and a couple other sports. But he's trying to make sure that he's well-rounded. Some parents be like, my son good at football, I'm going to let him play. Even though it's a very, very dangerous sport. But I'm like, all sports are dangerous. If you're playing baseball, you can get hit in the head with a baseball. If you're playing basketball, you can be running up the court. You can break your leg. So every sport has its drawbacks. I don't think there's any safe sports. Even if you swimming, you can fucking drown. If you're doing karate, you can get chopped in the neck. If you playing hockey, you can fall and get your neck slit with a goddamn ice skate. It's just different things, but he's just keeping his son. But he also said at a little charity event they had later, how when they said, does your sons want to play football? And he was like, well, yeah, they do. But I'm hoping they'll be the doctors who take care of football players when they get hurt. That's something else. Maybe they don't even be in sports. It can be sports medicine. Aha. So I like that he thinks outside of the box for his sons. Next, we see it was Geneva, her husband, Kelly and her husband, and Asia all coming together to kind of hang out. And what I found funny is, I'm like, why does all the reality shows on VH1 keep promoting these goddamn Lime-A-Ritas? I've never had a Lime-A-Rita in my life. I haven't. I'm a vodka girl, I drink Svedka when I do drink, or I drink Long Islands. It's just because I just can't get with a Lime-A-Rita or the strawberry Rita, or all them other Rita drinks, because I don't drink beer. So because it's an extension of beer, I never wanted to try it. So, whatever. Anywho, so, Asia brings up how... Wait, what did I say? Oh, Asia was bringing up how she, because Kelly's friends with Asia and them, and she's friends with Miko and them too. So Kelly's wondering like how she's going to handle being friends with two sides of friends, and you know what I'm saying. Which I get that, because typically when you have people who don't really get along, and you have that person who was in the middle, it's difficult to see how they're going to interact with things. I think the difference in this is whenever Kelly is with Miko, she's telling Miko the things the other ladies are saying. And that's not how you do things. When you are the middle person, you don't tell the other set of friends what the other one said. You have two separate conversations. You don't go back snitching to either one. But I feel like Kelly don't do that. She would tell Miko, yeah, Geneva and Kiafa and Asia said this and blah, 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 blah. But when she's with Kiafa, when she was with Geneva and Asia, she never said, like, well, Miko did say, that I shouldn't trust y'all. But she'll go back and tell Miko, well, Kiafa said a long time ago that I should watch it with you. And I'm like, but why you acting like one set of friends don't talk about the other set of friends? All you hoes talking about each other. I mean, God, it's the truth. So... But then Kelly's saying, I don't see why Asia bringing up Miko. Well, my thing is probably the same reason that Miko, whenever you talk to her, she bring up Kiafa. So the same issue that Asia feels towards Miko in a way, it's the same way Miko asks forever talking about Kiafa. The only difference is Asia's issue with Miko is that Miko was talking about their kids. Whereas I don't see Kiafa talking about Miko much. I see her more talking about Stacy, but not about Miko. But as you know, birds of a feather flock together. But we see a scene where Crystal and Stacy are out shopping because Stacy's getting a push gift from Chris. And you know what I'm saying? She's like, my husband knows how to treat a woman. He knows how to spoil a woman, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking in my head, I wonder if his first wife thought that too. Because she said that's why I married him. But I'm looking like, no, you stalked that man. And he was a whole nother woman's husband. So for you to be like, that's why made me love him. No, bitch, you stalked that man first. Okay? That was another woman's husband. God damn it, you hoes. Anywho, they then bring up how she's gonna be meeting up with Kiafa. And Stacey's like, I'm gonna need to bring my Bible because, she can get real difficult, so I'm gonna need my Bible. And what I appreciate in Crystal is she said, well, hell, Kiafa might need a Bible for you too. She was like, what you mean for me? She was like, because you a Spitfire. You the same way. You have a quick temper. So how about you go into that meeting with good intentions? You never know what her intentions are. She can come in there positive and you already on the offense. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and play off of her energy, see what it's like before you jump off the handle. So we see that whole thing. Then Crystal brings up how her baby daddy is mad at her or is upset with her, saying that she's money hungry because she wants more money and basically child support. And she's like, football players, they spend their money on all kinds of stuff and sometimes they go through their money. So I'm trying to secure my child's future, so I'm just trying to get money for, college, health insurance, savings account. And he like I'm, out here being a gold digger. I mean, technically, it depends. I mean, if he's already financially supporting the baby and you just want more money because you think he might spend his money elsewhere, I don't see how that's not technically gold digging. I mean, if he ain't doing nothing to absolutely go after him for money and stuff. But if he is financially there, you can't say, well, I want more money because he might spend all his money and he might not be able to give me money later. I mean, that's kind of, it's not gold digging per se, but it's like it could be looked at asking for too much if you're already getting, let's say, $15,000 a month. But you feel like, well, I don't want $15,000, I want $30,000. I mean, you don't need $30,000 a month to support a child. You don't. It does not cost $30,000 a month to support a child at all. That's just my personal opinion. Especially if you're not making $30,000, you can't want someone else to give you $30,000 just because y'all had a kid. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have the most expensive shit. Let me stop because I'll just keep going and going and going. So next we see, my head is hurting so bad. Kelly comes over to Miko's house to do her podcast. I don't like Miko on her podcast. I feel like when she be talking, her voice would aggravate me. I know some people say my voice is aggravating too, and I try not to be so aggravating, but y'all love it, so I deal with it. But anywho, Kelly is saying how she likes being cool with Miko, and she likes being her friend and everything. She then says, like, when I'm hanging out with you, it's cool, we laughing or whatever, but I feel like when I'm hanging out with Asia and Kiafa, all they talk about is Miko. And I'm like, am I tripping? You didn't even meet with Kiafa. You met with Asia in Geneva. So how you talking about when you met up with them, Kiafa was talking about Miko? Kiafa wasn't even there. And if you talking about an old conversation with Kiafa, why you keep bringing up the same old conversation? Because if I'm not mistaken from what's on the show, you and Kiafa haven't even had any scenes together as if y'all sitting around chit-chatting. You know what I'm saying? Not that I can remember. But I'm like, the fuck, what you mean? Even whenever I'm around, we was just together, they was talking about Miko. But I'm like, Kiafa wasn't even there. And that's the part where I don't really understand. And then Miko be like, yeah, that's because Kiafa be wanting people to pick sides. And I'm looking like, but Kiafa wasn't even fucking there. And again, this is what I mean by this is petty bullshit in this first season. And it's a little bit, frustrating. So the next thing we see is Emily and Crystal meet up. Now, I don't even see why they beefed out. I think they're reaching for a storyline for them to be beefed out in whatever way. This based on the fact that they both used to deal with a guy who was cheating on them both with them both. So I'm looking like, why y'all got an issue with each other when he was the one lying? So, Crystal was like, I like to uplift women. I don't see why me and Emily has this issue. I'm all about women's empowerment. But in the next breath, she like, yeah, because these bitches here and them bitches there and sad bitches. How are you trying to uplift women but you keep calling them bitches? I'll wait. How? How, Sway? And I'm just like, again, it's bullshit. They eventually just said, Emily said, well, I didn't know. I figured you knew we was together. And it pissed me off. And then Crystal like, well, if you would have talked to me, you would have found out that I didn't know y'all were together. But you didn't talk to me. Well, goddamn it, y'all didn't talk to each other. So who gives a fuck, okay? Neither one of y'all are with that man now. Why are y'all even having this situation? So they both agreed, well, no, he was lying to us both. And so it was really him. We shouldn't have no issues. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. And they make up. What do we see next? The ending of this episode is Kiafa and Stacey meeting up. And I'm going to say that for my next review for episode 6 because it cut off and it made me mad. But for this particular episode, again, it was the whole episode. They could have combined episodes 5 and 6, I feel like. Mainly because it was just a lot of Miko don't like Kiafa. Miko feels like Kiafa is out to get her. And Miko feels like Kiafa is the shit stirrer and she want people to kiss her ass and blah, 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 blah. Stacey don't like Kiafa either. And she also feel like Kiafa fake. Blah, 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 blah. Kelly going back and forth telling people what the other person said. Blah, 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 blah. I was just like, man, look, what the fuck ever. I hope if it gets another season, I'm going to need them to be a little bit more. They just need to do more. Each scene is them just having a conversation, talking about other people. That's all it is. If Kiafa and Geneva is having a conversation, it's mainly about whatever's going on with the other ladies. When you see Stacey and Miko having a conversation, it's about Kiafa or Geneva. If you see Kelly and Asia having a conversation, it's probably about Miko and Kiafa. And I'm like, y'all wasting a good series. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it gave me a fucking headache. But that's my review for Baller Wives episode 5, season 1. I am about to do the episode 6 reviews. I will have that uploaded in a second. So please check out that review as well so I can go over the whole Kiafa and Stacey dinner. That was crazy as hell. And of course the ending of the episode 6 too. So I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Until next time, people. Peace.